on talking all things gaming, all things crypto, all that kind of stuff. But someone super exciting. I know I said this before, right before Dickie got on stage, but Illuvium is one of those projects to me that is like you're just antsy for the release, right? It's not a sole investment opportunity. You're just antsy because it's going to be a lot of fun and it's going to be a load of new development and new technology coming into what you can actually do in games. And so that's one of those things where I was like, all right, this is going to be an amazing AMA to have. But welcome. We do things a little bit differently here. If you guys are good with it, I like to get to know you guys as people before kind of diving into the project a little bit, if that works with both of you.
Yeah, no complaints.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally.
I think it keeps it a little bit more fun. But if you guys are in the audience, go ahead and head over to the AMA polls. But going through this, if you had to pick one, would it be sci-fi or fantasy?
I would personally say fantasy.
I personally say
yeah.
sci-fi probably.
Dude,
And
it's
that's
like
why
50-50.
we're not friends.
It's like it's a 50-50 every time, every single time. Gotcha. Yeah, what was the movie or show or a game that did it for both of you guys?
I mean, I was a big fan of just like all the Star Wars, and not
Yep.
all of them, I would say, but like, yeah, I mean, like I'm 35, so like, yeah, I remember watching all the like the episode ones, like midnight showings when they came out, you know, like, so yeah, Star Wars was a big sci-fi thing for me, and yeah.
Awesome. How about for you, TSG?
Yeah. For me, it's like the standard. You got the Lord of the Rings, the Harry Potter, Aragon. The book series Aragon was really
the book
good.
is so good.
Yeah. It's like honestly, it's fantastic. So yeah, absolutely, fantasy. Fantasy is just
But
the
that's
way
the
to
thing, is
go.
I love Lord of the Rings too.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I like Star Wars as well, but you
It's
forced me
hard
to
to
choose
pick.
one.
It's hard to pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I get you. And I just think it's funny because those are the two examples that no matter who it is, that we'll always bring up. Like if you ask that question, it's either Lord of the Rings or Star Wars. Like that's like the
Yeah.
biggest thing gets brought up, right? That's just so funny to
Yeah.
me. Are you guys a bigger
Absolutely.
fan
What
of
would you pick?
Oh,
What would you pick, man?
fantasy for sure.
Yeah.
I'm a much bigger Lord of the
So
Rings
we win,
fan.
Dick.
But yeah, so would you guys prefer action or comedy movies?
Probably that's another hard one. You know, I don't know, it depends on the mood, but I mean, I love myself some you know, a good Christmas movie like Die Hard.
Awesome.
Like Die Hard's a great action movie, but yeah, I don't know. I like comedy yeah. I'd have to go with action, I think.
I honestly don't have too much time to watch movies. But I mean, like again, it's hard. This is a really hard one. It depends on the mood. Like I'll say most of the time it'll be comedy, just because it's something you can put on in the background, get some work done, and you don't really need to pay too much attention. But there are times where I'm like, yo, I feel like rewatching the Rocky series or something like that. And it's like, yo, action, like it just hits a spot that comedy doesn't. For sure.
Yeah. And I think fantasy won out on the previous question too for everyone here. By one vote.
I mean,
next up, would you rather be gaming or watching TV shows or movies?
I mean, I'd rather be gaming some of the time, but like with a family, that's not always possible.
yeah.
So it's probably realistically TV shows, but yeah.
Yo, it's the exact same. It's like, yeah, what would I like? I would like to be gaming, but yeah, my life just doesn't allow me to do that anymore. But yeah, so it's more often than not having. Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of people understand that. What is the first game either one of you ever played?
Yo, Dick, for you it was Pong, right?
Oh gosh.
No, there was we had an Apple II though, like one of the original Macs.
Yeah.
And there was this game on it. I don't even know what it was called, but it was like a swinging game. You like swung from vines like across pits. I don't even know what it was called, but it's a super old school game. Probably the first one I played, and then I played a lot of Oregon Trail. So,
Wait,
but
when
that's
was
Yeah.
probably what
when
got
was
me started.
the swinging vine game? When was that? I've never heard about
That was a
that.
long time ago, fam.
It was very long ago.
When there was still black and white movies and shit.
I tried to find it the other day, but I couldn't find out what it was called even.
Gotcha.
It
Is
was
it-
That's
like
funny.
Is
It
it
was like-
Vine Time?
I don't know. It was like the green, it's like green vine, green guy. It was just stick figures.
Yeah. I'm trying to look it up right now.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no
It's-
clue, no clue.
I've
Very
never
old.
never heard of it, but that's great.
Yeah. No, the first I don't exactly remember the first game that I played. But I know like one of my earliest memories was getting a Nintendo 64 and playing Hot Wheels. That was like the first game that I actually got.
Hot
It was like a Hot
Wheels.
Wheels racing game. Yeah, it was a pretty dope game. And like as a kid, like back in those days we had like those magazines with cheat codes and shit. We didn't have the internet. And like cheat codes and stuff were like things you'd hear in school. And there was this rumor that if you clocked the game 100%, you'd unlock a toilet bowl car. So yeah, we worked so hard to get it, and we found out that wasn't a real thing. But that was
some made up
yeah.
fact by like a second grader or something.
Yeah, pretty much it's one of those. The older kids like, yo, if you do this and this and this, you get a toilet bowl car. And yeah, me and my brother were like, yo, we have to get that. But no, so that game, but yeah, and the first game that I fully completed was a game called Escape from Monkey Island. That was an amazing game. I don't know if you've ever played that, but
I
No.
think this is it. It's called Pitfall, but this wasn't even
Pitfall.
on the Mac. This was on Atari.
Gotcha. So that's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. Got it. Awesome.
yeah,
Um,
wild.
Last question I got for both of you guys. What was your intro into committed gaming? Like not necessarily just something you played when you were a kid, but what was like the first thing that caught your attention in, hey, this is something I love and I want to do this for the rest of my life.
You go TSG.
Yeah, it's
I know
tough,
you
man.
were a professional.
Yeah, I mean, like, but that was like as an adult though. Like, that wasn't a kid thing. Yeah, as a kid, we just played for fun. But yeah, like in my adult life, I played Smash Bros. Competitively.
Okay.
So that was the first. Yeah, so that was the first time I was like, oh, games are more than just like not just when I say fun. It's like the competition is fun, but it's more than just like recreational.
Mhm.
And I started to see other avenues of like, oh, you can really push this. So Smash Bros. And again, I played Smash like on Nintendo 64, but again, it was like very basic, just for fun with friends.
Yeah.
It was only like maybe 4 years ago that I really, really got into like Smash competitively.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I still to this day play pretty competitively.
Gotcha. That is awesome. That's very, very cool. I know we have one of our other founders, like he played Overwatch pretty competitively, and then I played a lot of Rocket League
Sick.
competitively. So that's very, very cool.
Yeah, sick.
I love it.
That's it.
Nice.
That's it.
Grant played a lot of Rocket League.
Yeah,
I guess
Yo, he
like-
loves that game. It's quite funny. Yeah.
I know, but yeah, myself, I don't know. I never really played competitively. I just I enjoyed games for a long time, playing with friends. Like back in the GoldenEye days. Like just watching it all evolve over time has been amazing. Like going from
the Pong
playing
days.
StarCraft on dial-up internet and like yeah, like, I've seen it. I've seen it all like develop, and it's
That's awesome.
Cool where we are now. Definitely.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah. GoldenEye was a trip.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm.
Slaps only. Did you ever do that? Slaps only.
Oh yeah, we did it all, and like that was the other thing. Is like remember, like I think you were talking the other day about how your remote's like the only one that's not broken, the N64.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like you always had to swap out who's gonna use the shit remote.
The shit one. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I love that they only had one joystick. So like now you can move and aim, but back then you just have to stand still and just be looking around. It was the most crack up thing ever. Like everyone would just stop moving and you see them looking around. Funny, man. funny.
Switching between the toggle, right?
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's funny. That's really great.
Yo, I had actual tears in my eyes thinking back. This is hilarious.
That's really, really cool. I love the stories. That is awesome. And then kind of moving forward into you two now getting into Illuvium. I know TSG, you kind of touched up on it, but if you wouldn't mind going a little bit deeper into how you guys went from, growing up around gaming, getting into it competitively for UTSG, and then more recreationally for you, Dick. But how did that bring you into Illuvium and what Illuvium's doing now?
Well, yeah, go for it.
You go. No, you go.
Yeah, I mean, so really, it all started with me with just crypto, and I got into crypto kind of in a roundabout way with with gambling on soccer online. So they, like without going too far in depth, they only accepted Bitcoin. So this was like back in 2017. And that's how I kind of found out about it and started learning about it. And then, yeah, I've just kind of been in the space ever since. And this is obviously before like crypto games were coming out. And so when I found out about Illuvium, which was another roundabout way, one of my friends that has been involved in crypto, he was like, go check out this project. He's like, join the server. And I'm like, what is it? And he's like, just join and you'll figure it out later. And I was like, okay, it's somebody I trusted. So I was like, okay. And then I found out later that he was like, it's Kane's brother. And I'm like, well, I don't know who Kane is. And he's like, well, it's Synthetics, the younger brother of the founder of Synthetics. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like, well, that seems reassuring to me at least, and then I kind of learned more about the project and I was like, this is everything I hate. Like they're fixing everything I hated about like mainstream gaming.
Yeah.
Like because I played a lot of FIFA, I played a lot of Call of Duty, I played, you name it, I played like Warcraft, all these games where, ownership of assets would have been amazing. So yeah, joining then it was I kind of drank the juice immediately, and then I volunteered my time on Telegram, helping out, moderating the Telegram, because I'd already modded quite a few other chats, just being in the crypto space for a while. And then I volunteered, and then they hired me, and I got on the council a few times, and then eventually they offered me a job. So that's how I ended up going all in, head first, basically. It evolved quickly, put it that way.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is very cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's fairly. I think my story is fairly similar to Dick's as well in regards to like, yeah. So for me, it was like I said, I don't know why, but the YouTube algorithm just started pushing play to earn content on me. And I just kind of looked into it and I was like, oh man, none of the games I'm seeing really captivate me. But again, like what I said before, I just looked up, what upcoming games are there? And the game, like every top 10 upcoming list was like Illuvium #1 or Illuvium #2. And I was like, all right, it can't be coincidental that every single list has it at that point. So I started to do a bit more digging. I felt like I watched one of Kieran's interviews. I'm also from Australia, and I'm also like I think our energy and our character is pretty similar. So I was like, oh man, I like that braggadocious kind of like just that really outwardly like, yo, we know what we're building, we're confident in it, like stand tall kind of attitude. And I was like, I bought into it straight away. Like using Dick's words, I drank the juice, and yeah, all the questions I joined Discord, all the questions, all the doubts that I had, I'd throw it out, and there was always an answer. It's like, no, we've thought about this. This is how we're getting around that. This is how we're dealing with this. And it seemed like they thought of everything. And so after a while, I was like, I kind of just kicked back for a while, just like again participating in the community. And after a while, I decided to make content. I was like, yo, I feel like I can bring something to the table that a lot of the other creators aren't bringing to the table. And like in a past life, I was a dancer. And like, so we were editing dance videos. I already knew how to edit, and I had all these skills in my back pocket. I was like, yo, I think I can edit better than these guys. I'm just competitive, and I was like, I think I can do better than these guys. So I started making content, and yeah, I just did that like for like 7 months. I was making like a video a day for 7 months, while participating in the community like every day. Again, like what Dick said, I started volunteering, trying to help Dick out with some stuff, with some governance things, just trying to provide as much value as I could without really asking for anything in return. And when the opportunity came, and I knew that there was a position opening, or I knew that I could really like step it up in regards to what I could offer, I kind of reached out to Dick, and I was like, "Yo, let's make this happen. Let's get me on the team." Dick obviously went over and beyond, put in a good word for me, really vouched for me, and honestly, it's in large part thanks to Dick that I did get on the team. But yeah, that's kind of my story of how I got in.
And I didn't
Gotcha.
even know you were a dancer. That would have helped out so much more.
Yeah.
He's gonna be
Yeah,
digging
do the
through.
motion. Yeah,
He's gonna be trying to
that's
find
funny.
videos.
Do the
you already
animations.
know.
Do the animations for like Atlas and whatnot.
Yeah, the taunt animations.
Yeah, the motion stuff.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And so what were you guys' so I know you said TSG, we can start off with you because I know you just said like
Yeah.
you've danced, you've done, well now it's more on the content side, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you danced, edited, Smash Bros. Like what is your background in? And like is that most of everything, or do you have just like a bunch of different pieces that you're kind of pulling together, from
Yeah.
Miller?
And I have I have a bunch of different things, man. I used to draw, I used to write, I used to make music. I just did a lot of things. I like in regards to like my career, I was pretty much a salesperson like for like most of my life. In regards to like I started working at like one of my first jobs was working at Apple. And that's probably one of the greatest places to start working. Um, so I worked at Apple for a long time. I was a travel agent. Again, just a lot of different things in sales. And then I started traveling. Well, after being a travel agent, obviously we learned the tricks of the trade, finding out how to travel, how to kind of hack the system. So I went traveling for like a year, ended up settling in China for a bit, and started teaching in China for like the past 8 years. So it was like, yeah, my experience goes from again the creative side of things with the arts, and then it's gone to sales with communication and marketing, and then education as well. So yeah, it's I don't even know what I am or what I do if I'm being honest. It's like
That is a very wide range of experience. That's awesome.
yeah.
Dick, how about
Yeah,
yourself?
mine's pretty similar to the wide range of experience. I always had an interest in technology. I was brought up with it really from, family members being interested. Like my dad was always super into technology, so it was a pretty interesting topic for me. But then, you get older and I worked about every blue collar job you could think of. I did a lot of specialty job like construction. I did underground directional drilling for like 10 years. But while I was doing that, I always took an interest in gaming and technology still, and that's how I kind of ended up in crypto and just stuck with it. And you don't realize how much. Like I said, I was starting in 2017, and I didn't know like really what I was doing then, but you realize like with this last bull run that came how much knowledge you really have, and like even like whoever's I don't know how crypto savvy everyone here is, but like if you can like make a wallet and you know what your private keys are, like you're so far ahead of the curve like that you don't realize it until you start doing something like I'm doing or like TSG's doing, where you're dealing with people that have literally no idea what they're doing, so and I had some background in customer service too, but yeah, I mainly got involved in just helping out people on Telegram originally, and kind of stuck with it, and that's how I got to this stage, really.
Gotcha. That's awesome. And then what's your main role on, working with Illuvium now, Dick?
I'm the community manager, so I do a lot of I do a lot of random things. Like I tell everyone that, know what an Illuvium does, like one thing. Like even if you have a title, everyone's constantly doing all kinds of
Hmm.
stuff. But I mean, yeah, like I organize a lot of events for the community. I deal with governance, random security stuff with the team. Yeah, but I mean, my title is community manager, so I help out the mods, make sure the mods know what's going on. And I'm just in the community. Like most of the people know me because I've been there since like the beginning. So
Long time. That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Yeah, you guys definitely have a wide variety of experiences, and I do love the fact that you address no one can really have one single role. That's kind of the position
Yeah.
everyone is in. You guys aren't, a multi-million-dollar company just yet, right? Like you don't have
Yeah.
millions rolling in revenue every year. So, yeah, I love
Yeah, and
the.
that's one of the things. Yeah, that's one of the things that Kieran always like tells people. Like I've heard him tell people, like, because Kieran's like the head of marketing, and I'm technically part of the marketing team, and so is TSG. And it's like whenever somebody new comes on, Kieran always tells them, like we don't want to hire people that are here to just like tell other people what to do. Like you need to, be a self-motivated person, and you need to figure out what needs to be done and just do it.
Yeah.
Essentially, don't we don't need a bunch of CEOs telling everyone what to do. We need people that actually just do.
Yep.
Yeah.
I definitely got you there. That makes a lot of sense. Um, Kind of moving forward. Let's dive into Illuvium a little bit. That's what we're here for. Let's get into let's go into first the background of what is already built, and we can branch off from there.
Yeah. What is already built?
Sorry, I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
So
saying bye to my daughter.
No,
yeah,
you're good.
yeah, yeah. So what's already built is we've done a lot in regards to pretty much most of our products. If I'm being completely honest, like the current playable aspect of the game is our private beta right now, which is the survival mode. So that's essentially, I'll kind of break down what we're actually building, right? So Illuvium is right now it's three main parts, three main games. You have Illuvium Zero, which is our mobile game. It's a city builder game, something like Simpsons Tapped Out or Clash of Clans.
Hmm.
You then have your second game, which is the Overworld. Think of that as like a Monster Hunter, Pokemon-esque type game where you go out into the overworld, you try and find, you mine resources, you harvest things, you find our alluvials, you battle them and capture them. That's the overworld, and then you've also got the arena, which is an auto battler. So similar to Teamfight Tactics or Dota Underlords. And so they're the three major like gaming products
Hmm.
that we're coming out with, and they're all interoperable. So Illuvium Zero, the mobile game, is where you extract fuel. Fuel is what's needed in the overworld to go explore, capture, upgrade, all of those things. Once you
Hmm.
capture those alluvials, you then use them in the arena game to battle. And then if you want to level them up, what do you need to do? You need to go back to overworld, which means that you need to go back to Illuvium Zero, and the cycle continues. So in regards to where we're at with building all of them, like I mentioned, Private Beta 2 is available right now, and people are playing that. So that's the survival mode. Overworld, we're looking to drop that beta. Don't quote me on this. We are aiming relatively soon. Okay, I'll put it like that. We're aiming relatively soon in regards to the Overworld beta. And in regards to Illuvium Zero Alpha, that is also where we're aiming relatively soon. So we're actually doing really well in developing all of them. It's just kind of fine tuning a couple of things on the back end before we really start to ramp up the people that have access to these products.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love it. Sorry, Dick. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was yeah, thanks TSG. I was trying to say bye to my child that's leaving for school. this is
It's cool.
this is morning for me, so yeah, no, he did a great job explaining it all. Yeah, the plan is to hopefully have all the betas before the end of the year going, so
That
everyone
yeah
can get an idea. That's the hope, at least. But
yeah.
things always happen. But yeah, it should give people an idea of the vision, which is the interoperable blockchain game. Like TSG said, taking these resources, going to this game, and or if you just want to play, the overworld, because that's all you're interested in, you can buy the resources from somebody playing the mobile game that doesn't want to play the other games. So yeah, it should be pretty cool to see the vision come together.
Yeah, I love it. And theoretic. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, TSG.
Oh, sorry. And I was just gonna say, I just realized like there's like about 20, like just over 20 people in here. For any of you guys that do want private beta for survival mode, let us know and we'll sort that out. Instead of just giving it away to one or two of you guys, we'll kind of go Oprah Winfrey on everyone and just say you get one beta, everyone gets one beta.
Let's do it.
And the cool thing about beta access now is it's just the arena now, and if you're not interested in that type of game, because it's kind of a niche game, I guess, niche game. But I don't know. I hadn't played Auto Battlers before, but I really enjoy it now. So, but then you'll also be able to play the overworld when it comes out, which should be hopefully soon, like we said.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say I'll send you this link and they can fill out the form so
that would be awesome.
We can get them beta access this week.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I think we have a lot of people in here that were excited for it. So I was going to bring up as well, though, theoretically, correct me if I'm wrong, you could just choose your game mode, buy resources, and then sell whatever it is that you like, whether you get an alluvial or you get fuel. You could essentially just run it as in a singular faceted game, correct?
Yeah. So like if you're not interested in the overworld and the arena and you only care about the mobile game, you can just play that and then sell the fuel and kind of just play that game. Yeah. If you only care about the arena, you can just buy the fuel from someone else, or you don't even need to buy the fuel. You can just buy the alluvials and then just play arena.
And
you don't have to play all of
them. There's also a free to play version of all these games. So like, yeah, you could totally play for free, but I mean, it's not. You won't be able to get the like there's tier zeros, and those are pretty much the free to play versions. But there's a free to play version of all the games essentially. It's not free to earn essentially.
Yeah.
And it's also like the free to play is super extensive. Like Kieran kind of said, like we have like 100 like for the arena or the overworld / arena, we have like 185 or 181 around that alluvials in this fair set. 75 of them are free to play.
Okay.
So
gotcha.
It's like it's pretty extensive. It's not like, oh man, you get like 2 alluvials and that's it. It's like no, you can actually still build a pretty viable. Yeah, like you still build a viable like team and it is still like fun to play. You're not just like completely outmatched. Ideally, again, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah, for sure. No, I definitely see that issue. If somebody chooses to do free to play, would you have to restart going into the play to earn afterwards? Is that the thought?
No, not really. Like you would essentially, let's say I go in, I capture like a whole bunch of tier zeros, and then I decided to go into the play to earn. I would still have those tier zeros in my deck, and then I just pay to go into a tier 1 region, a tier 1 area of the region, and then I'd start capturing those and add them to the deck.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, it's not overly complicated.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Very, very cool. And is it going to be like the Monster Hunter side of things, right? Like looking at the zone where you're going to go catch your alluvials. Is it going to be multiplayer there?
For the time being, no. It's going to be single player. Okay. The multiplayer is going to come in the arena.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the overworld is going to be single player for the time being. There's just building something like that takes a very, very long time, and then adding blockchain on top of that is just a headache in itself. it is like there are plans to do that much later down the line, but I'm not gonna like say, oh, expect
Mhm.
that anytime soon. Like that's just not. Yeah.
Gotcha. That's very, very cool. That is really, really awesome. I love all the different interoperable parts. I think that piece itself it separates you guys from what other games are doing, like what other play to earn games are doing. You guys have different facets for different individuals. You can just play mobile, which is really big because I mean, what is that? Mobile is one of the biggest spheres, right, of gaming now, or
Like
at least it's becoming that
40%, I
way.
think. Yeah,
40%.
I think it's like 40%.
That's
I believe it's
huge.
around that number. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
that's
it's massive.
ridiculous. But that's
Yeah, it's
very, very
massive.
cool. Yeah, and then Clash of Clans.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone knows the name, right? If you're involved in
Mm.
gaming at all.
Yeah. No, 100%. And I think that's the thing is like in regards to the whole interoperable thing. Yo,
Hmm.
sorry, Dick, I'm kind of taking over here, but if you want to jump in, just jump in.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. I'm dealing with dogs and kids and stuff.
I
So
mean, yo, family life. No, the thing with the whole interoperability and what we've been promised in the metaverse, it's like the thing is, I'm grateful for Ready Player One because it was an amazing book and it was an amazing film. But I think it's kind of set expectations way too high for what is possible right now in regards to, oh, we're gonna have interoperability with everything, and we're gonna see Minecraft in Grand Theft Auto, and like we're just gonna mix and match everything. We're gonna see Tetris in Super Smash Brothers. Like they just is a bunch of things, and it's like, yo, relax. But I think the way that we're doing it, to me, seems very like logical in regards to, cool. We do need interoperability. We agree on that. That is the goal. But instead of
Hmm.
promising like the stars in the universe, let's just take one step. Let's build an interoperable IP, right? Let's kind of build out these games where it makes like the interoperability makes sense, where the
Hmm.
fuel in one game is necessary in another game, not just I'm going to take like two different pairs of socks and mash them together. Like that's yeah, like that's what makes me excited. It's like everything that we're doing is super well thought out. And again, it's
Hmm.
not like promising something super unrealistic. It's yo, we're not asking you to jump and take a massive leap. We're just saying, yo, let's take one or two steps with us, like, and let's keep doing that one or two steps every time and keep making that progress.
yeah,
Yeah.
and the vision is even bigger. As Kieran's mentioned a few times, this fuel will be, the fuel for coming games. Like in the
Mm.
future, we plan to have, I think Kieran said like 9 titles total or something.
Oh
But
gosh.
like that's like over, like I don't know however many years it takes. But like once you get into where you own these alluvials, and then maybe there's a kart racing game that you can go take these alluvials into the kart racing game, and it'd be interoperable in that sense, instead of like was saying, like about how people have these expectations of Ready Player One. It'll be our ecosystem that everything is interoperable in, that you can play with it all there.
Mm. And
Yeah.
yeah,
So
Chris,
much
you
more
laugh about the
realistic.
9 games. Yeah, you laugh about the 9 games, but Aaron has got those documents done.
I think
Like,
that's awesome. No, I think
it's
that's awesome. It's
it's
just
wild.
yeah, that's great. It's just funny to think of right now, right? And would you consider for 9 games, would these be considered 3 different games or like one of the same?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
No,
Gotcha.
these would be three because I think what they're classifying as a game is per genre. If it's a different genre, it's going to be a different game.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's very, very interesting. And do you know how many alluvials there are on the roadmap? Like to create? Is it just going to be an ever
I mean,
expanding list, do you think?
okay,
Yeah.
so Dick, take it.
I mean, yeah, like that's the plan. Like we have
Mm-hmm.
this set complete, and this set was based on, like extinct or almost extinct animals.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I think they're already ideating like the next set, because these alluvials that you'll be able to catch in the overworld, like so you catch them, they're on a bonding curve for how difficult they are to capture. So as you capture them, it gets more increasingly difficult to capture them, down the line. So technically they're not limited in how many there is, other than the time frame that there for sale. Like, so think of it as a season. You know, there will be one season of these alluvials, like whether that's a year or 2 years, whatever it is. You know, once that season's over, you won't be able to capture those alluvials again.
You have to buy
So
them.
then at that point, we would have another set ready.
Gotcha.
That would be like, the set number 2 of the new alluvials, which would have
And
to. I know they're already thinking about it now.
yeah,
Mhm.
and what we're doing is, instead of like just coming up with completely like another 150 new alluvials, we would come up with like a set of them, maybe half of that new, completely new, and the other half maybe like, let's say we use Ramfire, which is like our fire pterodactyl. You could kind of come up with maybe an ice or a frost pterodactyl, right? Where it's still like very different from the original set, but it's still like we're not gonna have to redo the entire animations. Like there's like, it's just easier to do, but it still creates a unique kind of alluvial, a unique thing to capture, and add to your deck.
Yeah, yeah. No, I love that. I love it a lot. So with that, are these going to be all minted out as NFTs for the collection? Like if you're catching them in different zones, do you have the potential to sell them if you're focusing on the exploration
Yeah.
aspect of the game?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's why we're on IMX too. So the game will be played on IMX layer 2. I don't know how many people are familiar with it here, but yeah, it's like instant transactions, 0 gas fees. It should be a seamless experience. We needed something quick and fast and as little interruption as possible for the game, because like if you're playing a game, the last thing you want is any lag time on anything. So yeah,
Exactly.
like when you catch them, you essentially mint them right there, and then you own them, and you can hold them, or you can turn around and sell them, or you can
Fuse them, whatever you want.
fuse them. Yeah, fuse them, which is like if you get 3 stage 1s, you can take those 3 stage 1s, fuse them together, and it turns into a stage 2. And then you need 3 stage 2s to make a stage 3. So, and this burns that NFT essentially. So like I said, like if the Genesis set is finished and there's no more of that Genesis alluvials available to catch, and you have all these stage 1s that you're fusing together, you could get to a point technically where there's only like one of the Ramfire stage 1 left in the world, So pretty interesting mechanic, and we'll see where it goes once it all gets started.
Yeah. And also regarding like the minting of the NFTs, we're actually also building out a custodial wallet. So for players that don't even know, like we want to get people to play the game for the game without even knowing it's a crypto game.
Yeah.
Where we're actually storing their NFTs and holding it, and then once they get to a certain, like, let's say they play for 50 hours or 100 hours, whatever the like metric is.
Yeah.
We then say, yo, by the way, we've been holding these for you. Would you like to actually create a wallet and migrate these across, and you can sell them? And all they have to do is press a button. That all gets done for them, and then they are now in control of their assets.
Yeah.
So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for both the crypto native users, where they kind of know what's going on, as well as the non-crypto native users, where we're just looking after it and then say, yo, when the time comes, boom, this is yours. Do with it what you will.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. Are there going to be any? So just looking back, right? Because I grew up on Pokemon. Like, are there going to be any like legendary types that are ridiculously difficult to find and catch? Or
Yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes. And there are also going to be, we don't call them shinies, but we are also going to have holographics and dark holographics.
What was the second one? What holographics?
Dark holographics.
Okay.
It might, like the names might change. The names might change, but yeah, there are going to be like holographics.
Gotcha. That's very,
so that's
cool.
going to be like again, like Kieran talks about it, and I'm a content creator, so I know the feeling. Like imagine streaming it. Like it's going to be hard enough to capture a Ramfire.
Yeah.
Like you find a Ramfire, or just imagine you find a Ramfire, you use your last tier 5 shard, which is like, let's say your Master Ball, and you capture it. And then you find another instance. You get into it, and it's a hollow Ramfire. You have just used your last thing to capture it, like everyone's watching you, excitement's up, like you're just gonna lose your mind, fam. Like you're just gonna go crazy. Like I know for myself, I would probably just shut my computer down and just take a walk. Like I'm done. I'm not dealing with any of that stress. But yeah, it's gonna be great viewing, I'm sure.
That's awesome. That is very, very cool. I honestly love that. I love that piece. And then that brings up, I got a couple questions from the audience, but firstly, how close is the AFK arena to an auto battler? Because progression on that takes a long time if you don't pay.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, so it's how close to AFK arena is the auto battle, or are the auto battles? Because progression on that takes a long time if you don't pay.
AFK Arena.
Yeah, I don't even know what AFK Arena is.
Yeah,
I'm
looking at it right now.
I think it's Lamp. If you want to elaborate a little bit on that.
Yeah, I mean, we can bring people up if they want to ask questions. It might be easier, right?
That's
I mean, I'm assuming. I mean, if it's an auto battler, I mean, I mean, the question still remains the same. Like, if essentially, I think they're asking if it's going to be like a pay to win type of thing,
Right. Yeah.
and I think it, to an extent, it can be. But I mean, I mean, that's where the esports is focused on, is that game. You know, that game mode is the arena mode. Like, I don't know if you guys know what TFT is, but you know,
Yeah.
that's got a big esports scene on it as well. So like, that's where the esports is focused on. So yeah, you'll have people that are, you know, wailing out, but there's a couple different modes. So like, you'll be
Yeah.
able to play versus each other, you'll be able to play versus the computer, and you'll be able to play in like the overworld mode, you know, where you're actually fighting to capture.
Yeah, and there's also we've actually made a pretty good, in my opinion, a pretty good distinction between, well, in our arena, there's two kind of arenas. We have the Ascendant arena and then the Leviathan arena. So the Ascendant arena is a balanced arena. So that's not going to be pay to win. So for
Like
example,
Halo?
let's say I capture an Atlas. I could use, if I have this like a stage 1 Atlas, which is like our cutest like Pikachu version. It's just our mascot. If you have that stage 1, you're able to play the stage 1, the stage 2, or the stage 3. So you're actually able to play all of them. And the stats, normally each alluvial are going to have variable stats, meaning that if I have an Atlas and Dick has an Atlas, one of our Atlas is better than the others. But in this Ascendant arena, that gets normalized. So it doesn't matter at all. It's just based on pure strategy, and it's not pay to win. And then we go into the second arena, the Leviathan arena. That is a Wales game where if you want to play a Ramfire, a stage 3 Ramfire, you need to have that Ramfire. And also, if my Ramfire is stronger than Dick's, unlucky, fam. My Ramfire is better than yours. If you want to beat me, you can either buy it from me or buy one better. So that is going to be a pay to win. That's going to be a Wales game. That's going to be like, that's more like, I'd say more. It just attracts a different type of gamer.
Yeah.
And there'll still be a balancing rank. Like you're not going to be ranked against someone that's overly
Elo
more
type.
power than you. Yeah, but that will be a bit more like cutthroat than the Ascendant arena. But because we understand that there's going to be like, we understand that there's players that want both sides, right? And like there's, again, why not have both?
Yeah. Is there going to be a max? So like similar to like Pokemon where you really can only take those levels up so high, right? Is there going to be a max level to where if you were to, let's say like you developed your Alluvial's skill set in one direction, or I don't know if you're choosing where stats go or that kind of thing, but would you be able to get everything maxed out, or would you have to kind of take a pick at the end?
I believe, again, I'm not going to pretend like I know.
Yeah.
I definitely don't know 100%, but I believe it is going to be a max.
Okay, gotcha.
I don't think you could just like max it all out. I don't think you can max it all out. I think there'll be a cap.
Gotcha.
And like, so for example, what I believe is going to happen, and take this with a grain of salt. Let's say that I have, again, an Atlas. Like my Atlas maybe has a bonus, like in regards to the variable stats, it has a higher affinity to defense, whereas Dick's Atlas might have a higher affinity to attack. So as we level it up, it goes up, but mine's always going to have more health, his is always going to have more attack. That's my understanding. I could be wrong, but yeah, just take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, all of it is still subject to change, you know.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
Gotcha. Yeah, I love that. It's very, very cool. I love the concept that you guys are going for. I mean, the whole Pokemon theme just kind of solidifies it for me because, like, watching it, right? That's literally what it reminded me of the first time I ever saw the Illuvium trailer. It was like, shoot, I've seen this before. The only difference being is like growing up in Pokemon, you had the TV shows, you had the games. Like I started like on the Game Boy. That was like one of
Yeah,
the first games that I like really, really got into. Um, but yeah, that is
yeah,
very, very cool.
yeah. Now the TV shows and all that's coming.
That's coming.
We are gonna come with that. It's coming. It's coming.
That's awesome.
It
That is
takes
very, very
time. It
cool.
takes time.
Yeah, 100%
Absolutely.
understandable. It's not something that's easy or cheap to create. That is for
Yeah.
sure. Is there anything that we
And
haven't?
yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just gonna say our main priority right now is to get these products out.
Yes, I definitely see that. Is there any kind of like information on dates or timelines or anything like that?
we kind of we stopped giving dates a while back.
Like
Just like we
years
have
even?
internal. Yeah, I mean, like obviously, like I think the latest thing Kieran said that I can at least say the same thing without getting
Yeah,
in trouble
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
is like essentially, I mean, he said, we plan on having everything live and real before, before the end of next year. And that was
Okay.
kind of like a joke him saying that because really it should be much sooner than that. We
Yeah.
just don't want we gave time they
Like
gave timelines
2023.
when we originally started and we didn't meet those timelines.
Yeah.
The team admitted to being overzealous about timelines and how long it would take to build a AAA
Mhm.
game. And so, yeah, we kind of stopped giving timelines. We have internal timelines, but it should be, next year sometime. That
Gotcha.
everything's connected to the blockchain. But
Yeah.
with the betas coming, hopefully this year, like I said, the vision will definitely be apparent.
Yeah. I think
Gotcha.
like again, I'll kind of like repeat and share something that Kieran's mentioned as well in regards to like if we're kind of saying that we are aiming for like again private beta tools already out. If we're kind of
Mhm.
saying we're aiming for Overwhelmed and Illuvium Zero this year, but I mean once those games are out, it means that they're okay to be sharing with the public.
Yeah.
Which means like once all of those things are done, the few little bugs are kind of like looked after. It shouldn't technically be much later than that when we start considering open
Yeah.
beta for pure public access.
Gotcha.
So kind of just like again, once we start getting these other betas out, it should be looking good. But no hard dates.
All right. I posted, if you guys are in here right now, go ahead and fill out that form. This is going to they've been awesome enough to say that anybody in here, right? Is that correct? Will get access to
Yeah, we
the beta.
honestly probably shouldn't do that, but I mean, like, feeling like Oprah Winfrey right now, it's fine.
What I would just say about like the beta access, make sure you go to there's instructions on that form because
Mhm.
it's for our trivia that we do weekly. But go to that link, make sure you create an account, and then you have to go back and actually register for the beta. It's kind of a messed up process, and we're reworking it to use like beta codes from in the future. But for now, this is the way it is. So the easiest way to make sure you get beta access is to go there, register an account, make sure you sign up for beta. It'll ask you a few questions about your computer, but as long as you get your email in that form and you get signed up, then we should get you guys beta access this week.
Awesome. And then if you guys have any questions, you can relay those to me and I will let you know, Dick, if anyone has any kind of issues with that. But
Yeah.
is there anything that we haven't touched up on that is like, this is my favorite part about what Illuvium's building?
The only thing I would say that we haven't touched on is we also have Illuvatars coming soon,
Yeah.
which should be a pretty cool project that we got coming. It started off as just a PFP project that the community voted in, and it evolved into something much cooler, which is a collectible PFP, customizable PFP game.
Okay.
So you'll have I don't know, yeah, like if you're collecting like in a binder, so you'll be able to get these PFPs, you'll be able to customize them, you'll buy these packs, we call them discs, and it comes, with an accessory, a PFP, a background, whatever it may be. You bond them, and then you'll be able to put them in a collections album, and you'll be able to unlock stuff based on how many you collect. So, if you get all of the Ramfire wearing these like different accessories and they all have the same background, maybe you unlock a skin in game, so this is the next project that the next product that should be coming live, where we're going to be adding utility to these PFPs, so it's not just a PFP.
Yeah. I'm super excited for Illuvitas. Again, like the fact that we can customize them, to me that's just gonna be fun as hell.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm super, super pumped. You guys are just teasing it, and it makes me want to play so much more. I know you guys have been like patiently waiting for way longer, but you guys are doing a good job of getting people hyped up.
I'll throw it out there real quick. Does anyone in the audience have any like questions they want to kind of jump up and ask? Like, because you've got us here now. If there is anything, you can just jump up and ask.
Raise your hand if you do.
If not, that's also fine. That means we did our job well. All right. It looks like we smashed it, Dick. It looks like we smashed it.
I think a lot of people.
I'm here for TSG.
A lot of people already are on board with what Illuvium is doing. I think you guys have created enough reputation around what you guys are doing to answer a lot of those questions beforehand. But
I'm grateful.
Yeah, thank you guys. I do really appreciate you guys for coming on, and I want to value your time as well. So I definitely see us wanting to bring you guys on again in the future. It was really, really great talking about everything you guys got going on. So thank you guys for coming on and spending the last hour with us. If there's anything we can do for you, just let us know. But yeah, if there's anything else we missed out on touching up on, feel free to bring it up. But if not, it's been really, really good.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me for sure.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man.
Talk to people about it.
Yeah, it's been really fun.
Yeah, if anyone has questions, reach out. You guys
join
know
the
what to
Discord.
do.
Make sure you join our Discord. We have trivia in there weekly. We do some events. Like I think Kieran was going to be playing TFT with one of the TFT pros right now, so I probably need to head over there anyways. So,
yeah.
Join our Discord, check it out. We have some fun over there, and get ready for all things Illuvium. Definitely Illuvatars and the betas coming.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys.
One question: what is the Discord 18 ID?
You guys can it has instructions on that link here.
Okay.
Let me let's just delete it because I don't need it anymore technically. There you go. It's deleted.
Look at that.
Awesome.
Yeah, not easy.
Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming on. Really do appreciate you both, and I'm sure we'll be chatting again soon.
Yep, cool. Have a good day, guys.
You
100%. All right, enjoy, guys.